Back in the late 80s and early 90s, there was a little genre called RPG, role playing games. Now, as far as I know, the RPG genre back then was not really that popular because, face it, RPGs suck ass. They do not, you know, encourage the player to feel like they're actually in that game that they're playing. And one of those games that does a pretty good job at it is Final Fantasy, which came out on the NES no late than 1990. And what I don't get is why would it come out when pretty much the Super Nintendo was already out? I mean, seriously, you think people are actually stupid enough to go all their ways to buy a Super Nintendo and then like, oh look, there's a game for the Nintendo. Oh crap, I already sold it, but you know what? I'm gonna buy that game and buy me another Nintendo. That is just another cash ploy to get people to buy the NES and basically keep playing it like a bunch of idiots. And yeah, so why not dive into the surfaces of this turd and see if there's anything in store for us. So, without further ado, let's review Final Fantasy for the NES. Now, the first thing you'll come across in this game is the annoying music. That same old annoying song that is pretty much in every single Final Fantasy game. I hate this song. It is one of the most annoying songs ever. That stop it. I mean, seriously, couldn't they find something better than this? I mean, seriously, there's a lot more better songs than this. There's the Legend of Zelda tune, there's the Mega Man tune, which, God, I don't even want to talk about that game, but it does have some decent music at least. Now, as you can see, you can also select your team that you want to pick. You can pick a warrior, a black belt, a red mage, a white mage, and a black mage, and a thief. I mean, seriously. I mean, why would I want to do that? Why would I thought this is Final Fantasy where they give you the actual character you're supposed to play as. They do it in the other Final Fantasy games. Why this one? Why do I have to pretty much create my own team? I don't see the point of that. Now, it doesn't really matter what classes you select because this game is unbalanced. I mean, the class system is just unbalanced. Like, the warrior has more strength, of course, and then you have the second strongest class, which is the red mage, and then, the black belts, which is pretty much the weakest class in the game because you don't get to use magic and you only get these wooden nunchucks as your weapon until much later on in the game you get a better weapon and then that turns out to be crap as well. Once you actually start the game, then you are taken to one of the most boring overworld screens ever. It's all green and it also has oceans, which, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's green, 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 and more green. That's all the colors that they could pick. All the colors that look like frog shit. Now, I can say that the towns look a lot better, but that would be giving the game credibility, and that's something that I don't want to give to a bad NES game is credibility. The towns still look bland and gray and green. I mean, what's the point? The NES had better color palettes than just gray and green. I mean, there are a few exceptions where there are like red and yellow, but why gray and green? I mean, is that all the colors that they need to make a Final Fantasy game? I mean, seriously, you might as well just make the game black and white. I mean, no one would know the difference. But anyways, there's more problems than just the whole palette of the game. Um, there's also the fact that you have to purchase your own weapons and you have to equip your own weapons in this game. That's right. In order for you to use your weapons, you have to equip them yourselves. It's not automatically equipped when you first play the game. You have to go to weapons in the menu screen and you pretty much equip your weapons, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, why can't they just equip the weapons once you purchase them in the store? I mean, it's just, another waste of time where you have to pretty much press the start button, takes you to the menu screen, go to weapons. Yeah, that's a waste of time. I don't like that. I just like to get to the action. And that's the most crucial part that makes this game bad, is the overall combat system. It sucks. It's slow grinding after slow grinding, which of course you can speed up the battle, but it doesn't really help out the game that much. I mean, once you start battling monsters, it takes a long time to level up, and that's one of the things that I don't like about most RPG games is, oh, it takes you a very long time to level up. I mean, seriously. It took me like almost an hour to level up. Yeah, I mean, that is too long, and yeah, I'm glad they actually improved that in the Game Boy Advance port, because I heard that you can actually level up a lot quicker. And yeah, I mean, an hour is way too long for you to level up. I mean, seriously, I could do a lot more with my time than just level up for an hour. Yeah, waste my time leveling up for an hour. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the fact that they give you like 7 enemies all in one screen. Yeah, I mean, seriously, what's the point of having that many enemies there? I mean, you could easily take them out, but what's the point when you have magic? And yes, you have to buy magic in this game. You don't get to find them in dungeons and stuff. Well, all the exception of heal, which you can actually find in the Garland Castle. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And the magic itself is hard to explain. I mean, all you do is just go to magic and you select what magic spell you want, but that's not it. That's not the most cryptic part. Sometimes the magic does not work in most battles. Sometimes the magic itself is just to the point where it won't even damage the enemy. And sometimes it'll miss. And that's why I hate fighting so many enemies, because when I try to use magic on the enemies, some of the enemies will die and some of the enemies won't die. They won't even take any damage. So that's why I say that magic is the most pointless thing to have in this game, because it will always miss. There is no time in this game where magic will actually benefit you. It won't help you in battles. Overall, I can say that this game, if you are a RPG nerd and you like to play games that take you a long time to beat, then I would recommend Final Fantasy to you. But like people like me, I just don't see the point of this game. It's boring, it's bland, and there's so many better games than this. I mean, I just don't have the time and patience to play a boring RPG game like Final Fantasy. And plus, I will be honest and say that this game does have a decent music. Well, besides that intro, which is very annoying, but it does have some decent music. But I will also say that this game has aged poorly. Yeah, this game has aged poorly because it's all slow and most RPG games are like all fast paced, but games like Final Fantasy do not age that well. So, what is my final verdict of Final Fantasy? I give it a 4 out of 10. I mean, it's just not fun. I mean, all the grinding takes a long time, the leveling up takes a long time, and the weapons are just, they're not that great. So, don't buy this game. Don't even play this game. It's so bad that, you would want to break your NES controller. So, yeah, Final Fantasy is bad, it sucks, and if you are fans of this game, I would be ashamed of myself because this game just sucks.